The US dollar had a big morning, but before I get to that, I want to mention the Australian unemployment rate that came out last night, much worse than expected. The rate was forecasted to remain unchanged at 3.5%, but instead rose up to 3.7%. The Australian employment change was supposed to go up by nearly 20,000 jobs, but in reality lost 11,500. That caused the Aussie dollar to plummet. US PPI numbers came out this morning and both beat expectations, with monthly PPI coming out at 0.7% and monthly core PPI coming out at 0.5%. That wasn't the only news, however, because weekly unemployment claims came out slightly better than expected at 194,000 claims. I want to remind you that you can watch us cover these news events live every morning right here on the A1 Trading YouTube channel. All right, everybody, here we are again. Let's go ahead and hop into the market heat map and see how all of our assets are trending so far today. Right up top here, I can see USD ZAR, the JP225, USD CAD, Euro CAD, GBP CAD, and Euro NZD seem to be our top 6 movers up here. And the USD ZAR is our biggest mover out of all of them, up 0.73% on the day so far. Again, of course, if you're unfamiliar with the market heat map, what we're looking at here is a list of all of our assets listed in the Edge Finder, and these blue boxes up here mean that it is up on the day so far, while these red boxes down here mean that it is down on the day so far, and it's getting updated every 15 minutes. So as the market is moving and trending in certain directions, you'll get an update on how all of those assets are trending. So let's take a look down here at the bottom. We have CAD JPY, NZD USD, Aussie USD, the NAS 100, S&P 500, and the US 30. So it looks like US indices are actually performing pretty poorly on the day so far, with the NAS 100, S&P 500, and US 30 all down here towards the bottom. US 30, of course, being our biggest mover to the downside, down 0.72% on the day so far. Let's go ahead and check out the watch list. I'm going to remove these neutral biases. Are you trying to find a broker or feel like you need a better one? In the description below, you'll find the link to fill out our broker match form. After answering a few easy questions, our team will reach back out to you with a personalized broker recommendation. Try it for free in the description below, as well as any indices and commodities if we have them, just indices at the moment. And there we go. We are left with all of our currency pairs that are currently a buy or a sell bias. And it looks like USD ZAR still up here towards the top. This one has been a strong buy now for a couple days. Score of +6 here. A few more buys and a whole lot of sells. We've had a whole lot of sells recently, including all of these strong sells: GBP USD, Aussie USD, NZD USD, Euro USD, and GBP CHF. All strong sells. GBP USD and Aussie USD strong sell scores of -10. So a lot to take a look at here. We did have Australian unemployment news come out last night. Those numbers raised. They were forecasted to remain the same at 3.5%, but instead rose up to 3.7%, which caused the Aussie dollar to sell off. Aussie USD probably would have been a nice trade to have been in on the short side, but ahead of that event. But let's see, I think we're going to take a look at USD CAD today. And I know what you're thinking, why not USD ZAR? It's a strong buy, score of +6. I don't think that USD ZAR is quite as commonly traded as something like USD CAD. We also took a look at a sell yesterday, so if you're interested in a breakdown of GBP USD, that's actually the pair that we broke down yesterday, you can check out yesterday's video for a full breakdown on GBP USD. It was still a strong score, -10, so all of that information is still relevant. But USD CAD has a nice solid score of a +5, so let's check out USD CAD today. Nice US dollar pair, nice strong, not a strong sell bias, but a decent sell bias with a score of +5 here. COT data is a score of +2, and retail sentiment is a score of +1. So let's go ahead and get into those numbers. Right over here, institutional traders, or smart money traders, however you want to call it, is what we're looking at when we're taking a look at COT data. And those institutional traders are currently 64.74% long, 35.26% short on the US dollar, and 68.58% short, 31.42% long on the Canadian dollar. So Institutional traders favored long on the US dollar, favored short on the Canadian dollar. Retail traders are 75% short, 25% long on USD CAD as a whole. So retail traders pretty heavily favored on the short side there. Seasonality is a score of +1, and we can take a look right here in the month of February, coming in nice and above this 0 or this neutral line right here, meaning that over the last 10 years, how has USD CAD trended in the month of February? Well, taking a look at the month of February again, over those last 10 years, individually speaking and averaging all that together, historically speaking, USD CAD does perform somewhat bullishly, typically, historically speaking, in the month of February, and that does kind of seem to be the case this month as well. Our trend reading is actually a score of -1, and we can see why right here. We were making some moves to the upside. We can see all the way back to February 8th right now. Made a nice little move to the upside, made even just a slight move right there to the upside as well before coming back down, but has made its way back up over the past couple of days, and we will see how it continues to trend after that. We don't have a strong trend reading score of a -1 or a -2, excuse me, or a +2 for that matter, but that's because it has come up and then came back down, but has come back up again. So we will continue to monitor how this is trending. GDP growth, unemployment, and interest rates are scores of +1. Inflation is a score of -1, and we can get into those fundamentals right over here. So GDP growth for the US, 2.9% compared to 0.7% in Canada. Inflation on the US dollar, 6.4% compared to 6.3 in Canada. Unemployment in the US is at 3.4% compared to 5% in Canada. And lastly, interest rates on the US dollar, 4.75% compared to 4.5% in Canada. All right, quick little breakdown of USD CAD, which again has a pretty solid buy score of a +5. I'll remind you really quickly that we have introduced a brand new free version of the Edge Finder. If you want access to that, you can find it in the link down in the description below. It is a version of the Edge Finder that has locked features, but a couple features that you can try out for free, 100% for free. This is not a trial. It will not expire. You can get access to it down in the link in the description below and test out a couple of the features for free for as long as you'd like. But if you are interested in getting the A1 Edge Finder Pro, which of course comes with all of these features as well as future updates free of charge, the future updates are free of charge. You can find a link to that in the description below as well, and you can use code A1YT at checkout for a discount on your purchase of the A1 Edge Finder Pro.
Guys, we've got 30 seconds until the numbers come out here for PPI. So let's see what ends up happening there. Lots of charts, a lot of people asking for gold and UJ. So what we'll do here is I'm going to leave it on gold just to see the reaction, and then we'll switch over real quick to other charts. So don't go anywhere. We are looking at the gold market currently. We're going to watch the spike together here. Gold making a move to the downside here prior to the event, trading at 1835. We'll see if there's any significant spike. I'll go over the numbers with you guys, and we'll see if we can find any trade setups following the news. Here comes the spike. Let's see if we get something out of gold. All right, and a shoot to the downside so far. Big spike there, 1831 printing here. And a quick drop through the lows. Very sharp movement there. But now the question is there anything on the dollar? The dollar shooting up here today. Let's see, USD JPY also making its move higher back to the highs here. And look at that, guys. Dollar yen making its move. How is this impacting the stock market is a question. A quick shoot to the downside. Very interesting sharp movement there. Gold to the downside as well, shooting back down to that 1830 mark as discussed. Pound USD, anything there? So the pound against the dollar making its move lower, the euro against the dollar spiking lower, but not holding those that movement just yet. So we'll have to watch and come back to that one shortly. How about the NASDAQ? NAS 100 making a quick move to the downside here with PPI numbers. And now let's go take a look and see if there was any sort of we can get an update on that number. So we're going to refresh the data here and see what we've got. So we've got higher than expected PPI. So again, following suit to our CPI numbers this week, we have PPI numbers, which are more on the business and services side of inflation, we're seeing 0.5% in core compared to the 0.3% forecasted, and 0.7% actual compared to the 0.4% PPI month over month. Wow, that is quite the beat. Or I'm sorry, it's technically a miss, right? Because higher inflation currently is considered a negative thing, which is also why, of course, stock market making a move lower here today as we get into the craziness. And then following that, you've also got the dollar shooting up, like I said, breaking back and holding this support zone real strong here this morning. And dollar, guys, continues to look bullish with two reporting inflation numbers looking really, really kind of scary, right, for that inflation story. Again, we were expecting a lower than what we got PPI and CPI numbers this week. So quite the move there. Let's go take a look at that gold chart again, see what's going on the 5-minute, just to see how much volatility is producing. And you could see a shoot to the downside, the gold market breaking through these lows that we had prior to the event, and now just complete sell-off, hitting 1830 again, 1831 to be more specific, 1831.5 coming into play here this morning. And USD JPY again breaking back up into that resistance zone. Here's going to be the question for bulls, though. If you're watching UJ, keep an eye on this one, because again, we are sitting at a level of resistance, which previously held very strong. But if we can get the break, there may be an opportunity for potential adding to a trade, picking up more position here on UJ. I'd be interested personally if I can get some sort of break and retest on this one. I'm looking to be long USD JPY. Guys, we're going to be covering more of this stuff in our Discord. If you guys are not already inside of our Discord channel, you can join to get trade ideas. You can see trades being taken by myself and by my team. Again, you can see that S&P 500 trade that I am still in profit, but barely hanging on to a profit at this point on that S&P 500 trade. But you can keep up with all my analysis, all of my trades, as well as Frank's trades, who's my right-hand man here, Ivan as well. He does coaching calls, webinars, things like that. We have so much value inside of the Discord. And if you're not already in there, make sure to use the link that just got dropped in the chat to join the free Discord. Click that link, fill out that form, and you can join us within the Discord chat there and get involved with the community. UJ rejecting now a little bit. Here is your 1 hour chart. Again, really coming back up into that resistance, and so far seeing a bit of a spike back the other way. Here's the S&P 500. We're back looking at the indices, and you can see price pulling all the way back down just about to my entry point. So crazy volatility there with the indices here this morning. And again, big red candle coming in. Now, the question is, how is that US 30 doing compared? US 30 faring a little bit better, but also the biggest loser today on that move is definitely the NASDAQ, down just about, well, I guess depending on if you're looking at the daily chart, we've got from the highs here or from the start of the day, about 1% decline here on the stock market so far, which doesn't look crazy. But again, that's a sharp rejection here off of PPI numbers this morning. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. GJ, any volatility on pound yen? Not too much. So probably not going to pay attention to that. We're going to stick to the dollar crosses. We've been very dollar focused this past week with all of the numbers that came out. We had CPI, we had retail sales, and we had PPI numbers just now. And across the board, it seems like the dollar is just coming out and you know, really looking strong at this point. So for me, if I'm looking at it, like I said, I like Euro USD on a break and retest, but it's kind of not really setting up. So my prominent chart that I keep looking at is that dollar against the Japanese yen. I think it's trending very nicely. I'd love to be involved in this one. And there's two case scenarios, as I keep talking about with this stuff. You have a break and retest trade, which I'd be very interested in looking to go long for more momentum upside. Or if this thing gives me a bit of a trim here to a pullback to the 38.2 or the 50%, somewhere in this region, I'm also interested in a long trade. So I'm kind of just waiting to see what the dollar yen does. If it breaks higher, we get a big push, I'm happy to look to try and join. I don't care to be, the first one to join a trade. I just care to be in a good trend when it starts trending. So that's kind of my goal.
Make sure you guys check out the links in the description if you need broker recommendations, access to our free Discord, or want to chat with us on Telegram. If you're interested in our trading software, the Edge Finder, you can find that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.